Well, good day everybody, and welcome to a different kind of video where we speak with, I would say, a friend of mine now, certainly in the future. John.
Hi.
Welcome.
Thank you very much.
John.
Thank you for having me here, man. It's fantastic.
So yeah, guys, just to let you know, obviously a bit of a different format. We know that we're normally vlogging and stuff like this. We've done a couple of interviews and stuff, but I put out a post the other day and you guys got back and said that you wanted to see me talk with people who are living what I would class as different, alternative living, interesting lives outside of the typical system. So this is why I wanted to do this conversation with yourself.
Sure.
I think what's probably best is, where did it all begin? Because at the moment you live in Taiwan?
I live in Taiwan at the moment, yeah.
Okay. So how did you get to Taiwan? What's the story? And how did you end up in Thailand at the beach huts?
How much time do we have? No, I'll try and take the major steps. I started 40 years ago traveling in Thailand, in Thailand, in Asia. As most of my friends went to India and to the ashrams and to explore the world and themselves in this context, I went to China. In 1986, I think it was.
And what age were you?
I was 26.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a young age to go to China.
Well, that's about the age that people travel. Yeah, I think it's a good age to travel. If anybody's around that age, I would encourage you, because that's the time when you're flexible and you can do things and you can move around it. But okay, so I went to China. I really enjoyed China. Got up in the morning and did my Tai Chi and learned some language. And then I found out in China you could not stay, but if you go to Taiwan, then you can work there and you can learn some Chinese culture and be there. So I went to Taiwan. It was more Western influenced. And I started teaching English, which I really, really liked. I did that for about, 40 years. Met my wife soon enough from Taiwan. I got married. We had 3 children.
Nice.
Yeah, it was beautiful. And we had our own school, and eventually we opened our own little school. And I think about 5 or 6 years ago, I sort of stopped. I retired and started doing different things. I'd been because of my travels, and 40 years ago I went to Tibet. That made a very big impact on me, had a very big impact on me. And then I started meditating and started figuring out what that is. But as you do, you have a family, you have a business, you have a life, you practice for 2 months, and then, I'm really busy now, and then you don't practice again for 6 months, and then, another retreat, and then you do another period that you are really intensely practicing. And so it was always up and down. A while ago, 2-3 years ago, I had a bit of a medical issue. That got solved. Everything was fine. And then I thought, I would like to really get more into that whole spiritual thing and that meditation thing and try to make it consistent. So I pick up an 8-week course of a teacher that I knew that I'd met in Tibet and that teaches now in the UK, Julian Daizan Skinner, in Zen Ways. Look it up. It's a brilliant organization. I did a retreat with him in Scotland. I kept in touch. And then this 8-week course, you could do it on your own at home with the book. He has a book and videos and audios with it. No videos, audios. So you just follow the meditation and you do 7 weeks times 7 is 8 weeks. 8 weeks times 7 is 56 days of meditation in a row, which is supposedly going to create a habit in your system so that you will continue meditating. And if you don't one day, then you go like, that's weird. What did I not do today? And then you really want to sit down again. On top of that, you try to integrate, of course, the whole mindfulness things in your daily life. And if you then come to a place like this, I don't know if you have any footage of this area.
Yeah, shot it when it came in. Yeah.
Perfect for mindfulness practice, meditation practice, going inside, looking at yourself, and because you're a little bit farther away from the day-to-day runnings of life. And I'm very fortunate that I found this place and that they let me do this here. So now I'm practicing how to teach meditation.
Magic. Yeah, what crazy journey.
Fantastic. It's a really, really great.
So I'm curious, you said, you were 25, 26?
Yeah.
When you moved to China.
Well, I didn't move to China. I traveled. Yeah,
Traveled to China.
Asia. I traveled Asia, the Philippines, and then.
And
Hong
what
Kong,
country
China.
did you come from?
Before I went to China?
Yeah.
Here, Thailand.
Ah, so
Yeah.
you were in Thailand before?
I was in Thailand first. I first came to Thailand.
Ah,
It was my first place in Asia, and I went, oh, Asia. It's all
yeah.
very different.
That's
do
kind of
Thailand
what I'm going
first.
through now.
Yeah, right? And
Yeah.
in Thailand, it's relatively easy. Thailand is easy to roll into.
Yeah.
There is so much more extreme countries in Asia, as you might have seen as well in the meantime. And, yeah, that's how I rolled up. Yeah.
And so when you first started traveling, you went on your own, right?
Yes.
Totally on your own.
Yes.
And would you say what you had like a travel itch? What was the purpose of traveling, would you say? Because for me, obviously I'm, 36, always wanted to come to Thailand. I'm finally here.
Yeah, right.
With this
Glad you're here.
yogi. Yeah, and for me, it's just something that I've wanted to see the world for a long time, and just explore. So was there a different reason for yourself? Were you looking for something? Were you running from something? What was the reason that you came out initially?
It was probably a combination of those.
Running and looking.
Yeah, running and looking, I think. Not being satisfied with the life that you're leading at that moment in time, for whatever reason. Because I've met many people and I've talked to many people, and everybody has different reasons for wanting to break away.
And you were in the Netherlands?
I was in the Netherlands originally.
Whereabouts?
Arnhem.
Arnhem.
Yeah.
I don't know if I know Arnhem. But...
Arnhem is near the German border in the middle sort of.
Okay.
Amsterdam, Utrecht, Arnhem.
So you spent 25, 26 years at Arnhem?
No, I was born in the south of Holland, and then when I was 14 or 15 or something, I moved to Arnhem with my family. I was still with my family. But yes, I was working. I was a lab assistant. Didn't dislike it per se, but it looked like, okay, we're going to find you a new job, and you're going to stay here now, and then you get a girlfriend, and then you get married, and then you buy a house, and everything is fine. I did not really feel very attracted to that picture.
Yeah.
I also had friends who traveled a lot. So they'd be away for a year, and then I'd come back and say, hey, John, I just come back from Morocco, and it was really nice, and then I went to South America or whatever, and this and that, and that gave me a bit of an itch too,
Nice.
And I put that together, and I was a free man, as in I didn't have a steady relationship, I didn't have a steady job yet, and I thought, well, if I don't go now, then I don't go anymore. I'm glad I did, because I never arrived.
Yeah.
Really.
And now you said you've been, is it the last 2.5 years, 3 years you've been coming to this location?
Yes. Yeah. First time I came here, my daughter helped me book it online, and actually this very same location, this was my first hut here. I arrived at 10 o'clock in the evening.
This is the beginner's hut.
This is the beginner's hut. Yes, this is the beginner's hut. So I arrived here at 10 in the evening, a little bit dark, and okay, it looks nice. I booked for 3 days. Wake up the next morning, and I open this door, and I see this, and I go straight to the counter and say, can I book for the next 3 days, please?
Yeah.
And then I just kept coming back. Yeah.
Okay, nice. Nice.
Yeah, it's just a very comfortable.
So, what about in terms of, because obviously we've gone from, you went travelling, Thailand to start off with, then over to China, and obviously there's a big gap from you travelling around to now ending up in Thailand here and coming back between Taiwan, and so what's the in-between situation? What did you learn? What did you do? What did you find out over that time?
It's an interesting question. So the way I've sort of encapsulated it eventually, I read somewhere, we all read books every now and then, that I think it is according to the Hindu tradition, there's 3 phases in your life. The first phase is the learning phase. You're born, you have to learn what you can eat, what you cannot eat, who you can trust, who you cannot trust. You have to learn a skill. You're learning. And then the next phase, they call it the householder's phase, in which most people start a family, have children, run a business, embark on a career, live their lives. And then, according to this theory, if you will, in the end of your life comes the third period, and that is where you start to contemplate again, where you become the seeker again. And that for me happened quite naturally. I had 3 daughters, I had a business running, I lived in Taiwan, I loved it, my family came over, there was lots going on, I lived a very busy life. But when that was over, I really felt that it was time to go back to practice stillness, peace, and going inside, going inside. it's good to be outside and live a life with meaning and purpose and function and stress and money and career and whatever. But it's also good then, I think, to step away from it.
I agree.
Yeah.
So I've got to ask you, because obviously I've done businesses and stuff in the past.
Yeah.
And I would say my life changed a lot. I started early, definitely money driven, you could say, motivated by money. And then, you know, I had a business, one worked, another business, it didn't work, and basically experienced depression, I would say, by this endless, relentless pursuit of chasing financial gain. And then realized that I don't even care about this money anyway, to be honest.
Yeah.
I care about the freedom and the experience of life and the exploring. And that's when I decided to really change my outlook, change my pursuit, and that was to one of freedom. What was your business? And, you know, what was the point where you decided to kind of switch back to a more still calmer way of living, you should say?
As a business, I taught English.
English.
We had our own cram school, they call it, in Taiwan and Asia, I think in general, but particularly in Taiwan and in China. So it's very common that children, after their regular schools, they go to cram schools to crank up their English in particular, or math or whatever. So I started teaching English in Taiwan, and then we opened our own school, my wife and I, and so for 40 years I've been teaching English. Let's say 80% to children, because that was a steady market too. Excuse me, but that's what it was. You needed to create that income. I had 3 daughters that had to go to international schools. I needed to make that money. I wanted to go back to Holland every now and then. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
So I understood that it was necessary to do that, and with a family, I do not have to put a rich family or rich children on the world. I've never sought that as a pursuit, but I did feel that I had to take care of them.
Yeah.
That I was able to send them to schools, and that I was able to provide for them. And for that, you need money. Money in itself is not a bad thing.
No, I agree. It's kind of what I learned. I went through a transition period where I first started seeking it so badly, and it became a bad thing for me.
Yeah,
because I had an
people,
unhealthy obsession with it.
Yeah.
And then I kind of got broken, and then I was at a stage where I was like, money means nothing, which is not true in this world.
That's also not true.
We're born into a capitalist system, I say you can either let it take advantage of you, or you can take advantage of it. You shouldn't let it consume you.
Yeah.
And then I'd say now I've got over that, being broken from this financial obsession to then not caring about money, to now realizing that it's okay to want to create wealth, but it's what you choose to do with that wealth and that income.
How you create wealth and what you do with it.
Yeah.
I think there's 2 aspects to this thing.
I agree.
Because of course, you can steal your money, but that's not good enough. So if you create your money, however much it is, in the right way, and spend it in the right way, meaning, yes, look after yourself and your family, but hey, be generous, help other people. Don't be too selfish about the whole thing.
I agree.
Then I think having money or earning money in itself is not a bad thing.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, be doing it in the right way with the right intention.
Yeah.
And don't cause harm. I think that's important, but that comes from the Buddhist corner maybe as well, but I think that's very important. That
I agree.
Make your money, but not by harming.
Yeah.
And then use it well.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah. So, how many countries have you been to?
Oh gosh, I don't know.
A lot.
Well, not even that many if you compare it to some people that I've met.
No, yeah, of course, yeah.
Like I've never been to the whole American side, North America, South America.
I want to go.
I skipped all that.
Yeah, same.
For now. And, there's still a lot of countries I would still like to go to. I haven't been to Japan. I was on my way to Japan. I want to go to Japan. So there's still countries on the list. I don't know how many countries.
What would you say is your favorite country that you've been to?
That's also a funny question, for now, what more do I want?
Yeah, in this beach shop. Your favorite apartment, your favorite beach, favorite sea,
favorite people around. It's really amazing.
Yeah, it's special.
But I think what comes up for me is Tibet itself. When I first went to Tibet, and I went back 8 years ago or so, that really had a great impact on me because I saw how the Tibetans incorporate religion in everything they do in their lives and are so joyful and happy and have fun. And that's where I saw that there's power coming out of this meditation thing, and because it's a mind thing. They had an awful history in the Tibet. They still do. It's awful that the Chinese are doing that. But if you see how they themselves deal with it and joke with each other and have fun despite it all, are able to sort of step over this, that I found most impressive, I think, yeah. And for sure, it's gorgeous country, Tibet. It's the high plains, 3 to 5,000 meters high, and salt plains. It's so gorgeous. The artworks and the temples. Yeah, Tibet is I think, my number one. Okay.
And that's what started you on your journey of meditation?
Yeah. That really showed me, look, all this spiritual stuff that I read about in books and people tell me about, look, it works. Look, this guy's happy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And that was good for me to see. And that was not an educated guy per se, that was not somebody who understood and studied and maybe couldn't even read.
Yeah.
But he walks around the temple the whole day and says, and he smiles when he sees you, and then I go, wow, you're smiling.
Nice. There must be something to this. Yeah. Nice.
So that's what really got me going.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
One last question.
Yeah.
You've definitely led an interesting life. You've seen a lot. You've met a lot of people. You've done lots of different things. And you've been exposed to business and money, and then also going down a different path, one of more stillness, peace, calm. What would you say to people out there that are seeking an alternative life, potentially a calmer life, based on your experience? What's important in life, based on what you've gone through? The best advice that you could give people to live a happy life?
Maybe I should say, learn to step back. We tend to get involved in the way things are happening and what's happening to us and around us, and get lost in our minds, in our thoughts, in our actions. I think it's very important to develop a habit, and meditation is a good thing for that, where you almost force yourself to step back a little bit and to look at yourself in these situations. Look at yourself as the teacher in that English classroom. Look at yourself as that businessman who's trying to set up some stuff. Look, don't be that completely, but look at it from the outside. Meditation is a good technique for that, but in general, that is a good thing to do, and it's not so difficult because during the day, you can sometimes remind yourself and say, hey, let's just sit down and breathe a little bit. And then just take 2 minutes and focus on your breath. That will bring back so much calm and so much perspective and so much distance between what is happening out there, whatever it is, that you can deal with it much better. I think that's what I'm seeking. That's my approach.
I'm sure it will help. One last thing, not a question.
Sure.
If people want to, because you're going to be offering meditation, is this where we just share basically, because there's going to be some people who are interested to at least follow, learn more.
Okay. I'll do a 30-second sales pitch.
John.com meditation. Sign up now.
The bottom below. No, so the idea is I'm learning now. I'm now doing a course online. I'm in the middle of it. This weekend I have another 2 days with my teacher to teach an 8-week meditation course. And that 8-week meditation course, I will guide you through it. We meet once a week for an hour and a half, 2 hours with a group of people online or in-house. I explain the meditation that we're going to do for this week. We have a conversation, we have questions, we answer questions. Then I guide the group through that meditation for 25 minutes and we record that. Then you go home, or if you you are home maybe already, and then you promise me that 7 days in a row you're going to do this particular meditation and keep a journal. Because I think it's very important that you keep track of what you do. Don't overthink everything, but keep a journal. You do that for 7 days, we meet again. New meditation. This week we're going to do it slightly different. I introduced the meditation, the background. You might have questions over the experiences of last week. And that's how I'm going to walk you through 8 weeks. 8 weeks is 56 days. According to this science, if you do something for 66 days, it sticks. I'm going to put you to 100 because I'm going to promise you that we meet again after 20 days or so, and we have a cup of tea, and how's it going, guys? And then I'm going to pull you to 100, and most people, once you've done 100 days, you're not going to stop. Then you'll continue doing your practice every day, and that's what I'm trying to bring. And if people are interested in knowing more about it, then please be in touch, and we'll get the details.
Perfect. Yeah. By the way, John's been offering meditation every single morning, which I would say that I've turned up to every single day.
Almost.
We maybe got carried away with the good stuff yesterday and didn't turn up.
I turned up.
But he's got one of the most soothing voices that you can imagine for meditation, so it's perfect. Just come back to the breath. But it's really, really good. So yeah, guys, just reach out if you've got any other questions. Obviously, I can pass the questions on to John and stuff. If you want to find out more information, then just let us know. But
thanks very much.
Appreciate this. I appreciate you sharing your story. I appreciate the time, and I appreciate what you've done here. It's very much appreciated.
I appreciate what you are doing in general when you're vlogging and showing people that they can live lives in a different way, their lives in a different way. And I wish you good luck with that.
Thanks you so much. It's appreciated.
Look at this little girl. Come here.
Oh, hello.
Hello.
Look, say hello to everybody.
Look at your beautiful dress.
We've got a little yogi coming in, guys.
What a beautiful dress you have.
Look, there's billions of people on here doing an online meditation session, look.
Hi.
Here we go.
Hi.
Say hello.
Say hi.
To these, look. They're
You have
waving.
to show her that she's on there, otherwise she doesn't know. Good morning. Did you sleep well? Did you sleep well?
Brilliant.
What's that? Now you can see. Oh. So you can be on. Come. You can be on here.
It's just brilliant.
Yeah, now you can be on it. Look. Now you can be on it. Look, now wave, yes. Hey.
Oh, this is what you get with the communities around here, people. Oh, it's just magic. Wicked.
I think
Well,
maybe
that's
that is
perfect.
something that
So
needs to be
that's
said about the
fantastic.
community here. One particular thing about this place that I would like to mention is, as you can see here, in general, we get along with the Thais who work here and live here just as well as with the travelers and the holiday makers and the spiritual the seekers, and the same thing. There's a great mix in both the Thai community and the foreign community here.
Yeah. I've noticed that. You guys have probably seen when I've been traveling, vlogging around, I've said about, very much about the community, meeting more people. And this place has definitely got that in terms of integrating, foreigners, if you want to call that, or people who are traveling, and then mixing it in with the locals. Oh, has that stopped? No, there we go.
Don't play with it now.
Minute,
Don't play with it
minute.
now. Don't play with it now.
Just
Okay?
1 minute and then we'll be done, yeah?
Beautiful dress.
Mixing it in with the locals, they've really created something truly special here. So especially if you're coming to relax, get involved in meditation, escape this kind of typical tourist areas. This place in particular is absolutely magic for that, based on my experience. Limited experience, obviously only 2 weeks, but still, I highly recommend this place.
I'll add 3 times 8 weeks to that and underline what he just said, because that's what this place is all about.
Yeah. Magic. So it's somewhere special, guys. Somewhere special. So
for sure.
perfect.
Good. Thanks very much.
Thanks again. Thanks.
Cheers.